Hello, I've come onto the channel today to share some makes from the last couple of months. I'm starting with this journal page. I've not done too much journaling before. This is only about my 5th page. So this was done back in October, hence the colour tones. The background was done from mopping up on my craft mats and paints and inks, and also cleaning off brushes and things like that. This is a hand stamp tag, gift tag from a friend. So I just stuck that in there, along with this leaf which I found, not the Halloween just gone, Halloween before. We went on a nature trail Halloween quiz, and I picked that off. Actually it landed on the car and it was stuck under the windscreen wiper, so I just picked that off and stuck that in there. And it was left like that for quite a while, and it was probably started that Halloween. And so this autumn I have finished it off with some washi tape that came in some Happy Mail, and these stamps were picked up at boot sale, so they're just various different leaf shapes, and I'm not entirely sure where the twine or vine leaves came from. I can't remember, but they're obviously out of my stash as well. And it just says autumn is a second spring where every leaf is a flower, which is my favourite, one of my favourite quotes. Yep, so that was really quick and simple, although it wasn't that quick because, like I said, I started it not this autumn, the autumn before, and I finally finished it. But I'm quite happy with that page.
Are a couple of tags that I did for a Facebook group. There's a swap in one of the groups. The theme was animals. The first one, I've used a Seth Apter style background. He uses a lot of layers using paint and embossing powders. If you don't know who he is, it's worth taking a look at Pinterest or Instagram. He's on there as well. So this was a background I made at a class quite some time ago. Obviously I've got these bits left over, so I've just made that into a double-sided tag. And I have added some giraffes in the background using a clarity stamp set. I think it's Savannah Trees and Animals. And this image is from the Hunky Dory little book. I think that one is Wild at Heart. I've just added my own sentiment, which I've printed off from the computer, one step at a time. Sorry for the shadow, but I'm doing this in the evening and the lights are on. It's just casting an awful shadow. Yeah, so that's that one. I've just added some leaf twine from my stash. I actually bought this from the works. I used this because the iconic image for me of a giraffe is when they're feeding from the trees, and I just thought the leaves on this one were perfect for that. And the second one is another Seth Apter style background. This one I did in my own time, so it's just got the black background, whereas the other one is double-sided. This one's got a black back. So this was using some of the paper artsy paints, Seth Designs paints and stamps for paper artsy. So I've used his paints in the background, and also to make the marks. The marks were made using random things. For instance, these spots here were made using the end of a lolly stick. So you know, you get the chocolate lollies from various different shops for Halloween and Christmas. So I ate the chocolate first, obviously, and then I kept the stick and just used it to make the marks. And then these round ones here are actually made using the end of a toilet roll, which is quite good because obviously toilet roll is quite soft and it soaks up the paint. You tend to get bits of mist, so you don't get perfect circles. These marks up here, it's really hard to focus because of the light. There's some here as well. They are made with a fork from a pre-packed salad, and I think that is mostly it. I have added some stamping in the background, which is a chocolate Baroque stamp. And I've also added some of Seth Apter's baked embossing powders. I believe there are 6 or 7 different types. I was lucky enough to get the whole batch when they were on a really good deal, and this was not long after they first came out in the UK. So, but I've really enjoyed playing with them on this one. I just added some buttons from my stash because I have a huge stash of buttons and I really need to use them up. And I like the fact that these I thought went with the collars because they have the like browns and beiges in them. So, and then I've stamped it in the background with again with the same clarity stamp set using watering can archival ink. So it's a grey rather than a black, which I thought was a bit more appropriate for the elephants. And again, it's another image from that same Wild at Heart Hunky Dory little book. And I have finished this one off with a shoelace from my husband's boots. I should add that the shoelaces were broken. I haven't stolen these from his boots. He's not going to come home and suddenly find that he can't tie up his boots anymore. This was an old damaged lace, so obviously it was treasure to me, so I stashed it away in my craft room. And I have added a quote on this one that says "just keep going," which I thought was quite appropriate for the elephant. So yeah, that's it for those.